about improvising on a jazz song with lots of chords that you might think you need all kinds of fancy and exotic scales. And you're right, you do need some fancy and exotic scales, but the jazz improvisation comes out of the school of the blues. If you listen to the jazz pianists of my generation, like Oscar Peterson and even like Chick Corea and Keith Jarrett and those guys, Herbie Hancock, they draw from the blues constantly. It may not seem obvious, but they really do. And then, of course, if you want to go back to like Red Garland and Wynton Kelly and Art Tatum, Teddy Wilson, they all draw from the blues too, to one degree or another. So we're going to take a song, I Thought About You, which has a lot of chords that you could use a lot of scales on, and I'm going to show you how to play this song with just 3 blues scales, okay? So we're in the key of F, so of course we're going to use F blues. We're also going to use the blues scale of the relative minor, which is D minor. And notice that scale, if you started it on F, sounds like a kind of happy version of the F blues scale. Alright, so either one of those scales is going to work okay on an F chord. The blues scale or the happier blues scale, which is really a D minor blues scale. And then when the song gets to a place where there's a B minor 7th and an E 7th, that's like a 2-5 in A, so I'm going to play the A blues scale. Right, in that point. Okay, those are our 3 blues scales. The only place I might cheat a little bit is right at the beginning when it goes. Got those F, E, E flat, and D chords, so I might do something just like with triads. Okay, just to kind of get through it. But let me tell you, if you voice the chords right, like if you did it like F, here, E, then you can use that scale through the whole thing. Okay, so here's how it goes. We start with basic F blues scale. And when we get to the G chord, that D minor blues scale sounds good. Stay on that scale. Back to the regular F blues scale there. And now we're in B flat. That's not blues scale. Let me do something in blues scale. Alright, that's the D blues scale there. Chord. That blues scale was made for that. Now here's the E, the B and the E here. B minor, flat 5. A blues scale. So the 3 blues scales, and the reason I like to do this is because, as you're maybe trying to create a solo that's a little more elaborate or a little more harmonically advanced, you can get too stuck into that idea too. And it's just nice to pull it back in with the blues every once in a while. Turnarounds are a good spot to do that. But it helps people kind of relate to your solo a little bit more because we all understand the blues. It's just part of our DNA. So use the blues scale to explore the song all the way through, trying to use different blues scales and see what works. And then you can spend some time maybe working on some of the more exotic scales, which I'll demonstrate here. scale right there. See? Here, instead of the A. So here's one more take through it with all blues scales.